the chisme.
Hola, hola, amiguis. I'm your lovely host, Jahaira Rodriguez, and I'm back with another episode of Chismes con Amiguis. And so today I have my amiguis, Ariana. Hi! And so, yeah, we're just here to beat ourselves up. Today I'm having my tecito, and Ari is going to have her little tecito, which is her, if you want to explain what you're having today.
It's my lechita, chocolate milk, con hazelnuts. That's what I'm having. I'm not a big fan of tea. I only love tea when I'm sick. That is the only time. I love milk. Whole milk. Not water milk.
Yeah, I was going to say, she calls my milk water. She's like, I don't want any of your water. So when if she comes over for brunch or something, she literally will bring her own gallon of whole milk to my house because she's like, I don't want your water milk. She's like, that's not what I came to have.
The waffles?
Yeah, and
And they're taking out the 1%.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, because we drink fat-free at my house.
Oh, it's at 1%?
Yeah, that's why it's probably even more because it's literally fat-free. So yeah.
No bueno.
And I can't have whole milk. I don't even think I can have 1%, 2%. I don't know. Even like when I go to my parents' house, they have
1%.
1% or 2%.
Yeah, 99% is water. And then there's just one chorrito de milk.
No. I can't do that. So she's having her little chocolate milk. She's also, I think, going through her little chocolate milk phase at Dutch Bros.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a Dutch Bros drinker. I just don't think it's real coffee. Sorry for you Dutch Bro lovers out there. I'm probably going to get bashed for that. But yeah, I'm just not a Dutch Bros drinker.
I used to be a fan of their coffee too, but then I got over it. And then I started drinking their teas, and then I got over it. But now I'm on to chocolate milk.
Yeah, so that's what she's having. I'm having my tea. And the tecito I have today is sweet tangerine. Positive energy. So it's supposed to support focus and energy levels. So maybe I'll have some focus and energy during this little podcast moment. So my little taggy today says, life is best lived by focusing on your goals. Ooh, and dancing through all other distractions. I love that.
I love that too.
But today I kind of just wanted to chat and, kind of with Adi in regards to college life and her journey to college. She has something really special coming up, so I think we'll chat about that. That's why I thought it was really a good idea to bring her on and sit with her. Another thing too, I think talking about not just her journey into college, but also her journey in regards to her change in career path. I think that's also something that for me, I admire Ariana in regards to I've seen her grow a lot. So I think getting into that. So yeah, Ari, tell us how did we meet?
Well, it was in 2017.
Okay.
And it was actually Yasied's third birthday.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was third or fourth. No, he was.
No, I think it was his third because it was the airplane theme one.
Yes.
Okay.
It was his third birthday, and Naneli had just left Charlotte Russe, which, as Edgar from her previous podcast, I knew Naneli first before I knew her. I worked with Naneli at Charlotte Russe, and then she left Charlotte Russe, so then we became closer, and that's when she invited me to Yassi's first third birthday.
Yes.
And then after that, I felt like it was easy to get along with you. Mm-hmm. I can't say, kind of like with Nereida, where I can literally physically say 2019 is when me and Nereida became friends.
Yeah.
I feel like me and you were more float in, and it was just seemed easier. But yeah, 2017 is when we met.
Oh my gosh, that's been a while then.
It has been a while.
So it's the same thing when I interviewed Edgar, how he said shout out to Nane. So shout out to Nane because again, this is my sister Nane she always says those are my friends. They're not your friends. So again, Ari's technically not my friend. She's Nane's friend. So yeah. So we met in 2017.
Yes.
What has been, so tell us, I guess, in regards to your career path. So what do you do now?
Currently, right now, I work in the registrar's office. I am the manager for the evaluators. Manage 6 people currently. Yeah, 6 people. Me would be 7. Uh, it's a pretty intense role in the sense that you're managing multiple different personalities, but it's a very fulfilling role because I feel challenged. I feel accomplished. But I also feel like I could still grow in my role.
Works at the community college here in Nampa, so here in Idaho. So that's where she works. So that's why I just wanted, because I know she said the department she works in, but I'm saying like that's the
so community college.
So now she works in education. So big jump from retail to education. So like, how did that like
happen?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Oh, God. So Nereda is the one who told me about a positioning opening up at the community college. And all of you guys were like, just do it. And I was just like, I don't think I can do it. I don't have any higher education experience. Very intimidating to want to apply.
So I was going to say, I remember that process. Like, I remember when you were kind of in that transitional period in your life. And I remember when they kind of told you about the job, because at that time, Nerida was working there, right?
Yeah, she was.
So my other sister was working there at CWI, and she was working in what department?
One Stop.
The One Stop. And I remember when she told Addie about the job, and Addie had just like Charlotte Russe, and then you were at American Eagle, right?
For like 6 months.
You were there for 6 months, and then you left?
And then I left.
Yeah, so I remember like when Addie was kind of like, oh, should I do it and stuff, and I remember that I was like trying to like, I was trying to amp you up, and I was like really encouraging you to like do it, because I felt like you were kind of like,
I doubted myself.
Yeah, and you were like also, what's that saying? Is it like cutting yourself short? I don't know if that.
No, that's
like you were just
true.
like not giving yourself the opportunity, and I think that you also were very much like, well, no, I've only done retail. I've only like.
I was limiting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even at the interview, and I remember Aurelia, she was the person who talked to me first when I was waiting for the interview. I literally was thinking, why am I here? Get up. Get out of here. This is not for you. You're not going to get hired. Literally, those were the words. Yeah. And I remember Aurelia came up to me, and she could tell what I was thinking. Because she was like, girl, don't be nervous. And I was like, oh, I'm not nervous. You know, I'm trying to play it off. Obviously, you don't want to look nervous. Yeah. But, yeah, I remember the day I was sitting there, and I was like, what the heck are you doing here? Leave.
And then, no.
Literally, leave.
And I remember that I told her, I told you, and I told Addie, I was like, you need to try, because for me, not that, like, obviously your career in retail was, like, awful or to, like, oh my gosh, it's not good enough. I just felt like, I don't know, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I've never worked retail other than, like, my little part-time seasonal job at Bath & Body Works. But I'm saying, like, I think sometimes it's maybe seems like it's easy to kind of just stay in that.
It is comfort.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
comfort. You know what to expect.
Yes.
And that's where it was.
Yeah, and for me, I think I just felt like I wanted to encourage you to like take the interview, do the interview, like, and because it was gonna open like doors, and I felt like it's gonna give you different opportunities. Like, even if it wasn't that you were gonna stay there, it was like now you're gonna have not just retail experience, but now you're in this different setting, and then you have this work experience. Like, it's gonna give you that sort of growth, and it's gonna look really good.
And it did.
And so so like, how has that been? Because I mean, I remember even like when because this wasn't the job that you have now. The position you have now is not the position that you were in before, right?
Right.
Because I even remember when you were
applying
for this job too. It was the same thing.
It was, yeah. I definitely doubt myself a lot more than I give myself credit. But I just know that I think what really pushed me, not only are my peoples who support me and actually push me to do things, but I also think that I came to realize that, first of all, I always believe that hard work gets you far. And it does. Don't get me wrong. It definitely gets you far in life. But then there's a moment where you stall. Yeah. And that's where I was. I was stalling. Like, no matter how good I was in the department I was in, it's like I couldn't advance.
So I was going to ask, like, because, so you started at CWI as, what was the job, the position?
Oh, I was a one-stop person.
Yeah. And then I remember when you were applying for this job.
Yeah.
And I remember the same thing because I remember you said, oh, they're asking for, a bachelor's degree. And then I told her, like, Ariana, who cares? Who cares? I was like, you may not have it, but it doesn't mean that you'll never have it. I said, you're already in, they know you, so, like, just apply. Like, at the end of the day, worst case scenario is going to be what? They're going to say, like,
yes or no.
Yes or no. And so I was like, it's okay, just try. You just need to try. And then you applied, and you freaking got the job.
I did.
And that was, like, a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, as a friend, like, loving Ariana and seeing her through, like, this process, it was just so cool to see, like, just, like, your growth. Like, even just, like, there and then wanting to go to school. And then I remember, too, when you were like, I'm going to go back to school, I was like, oh, my God. I was, like, crying.
I remember Red Cheesecake Factory when I finished my semester.
I was like, oh, my gosh, this is so cool. She's going back to school because I just thought, like, I don't know, like, I think that anyone that wants to, you know, and is going to put in the work, because college isn't easy, you know, and so...
I'm working full time.
Yeah, and so I was just like, you know, you can do it. And even if you do it, like, part-time, even if you do it slow and steady, like, you can do it. So that was just awesome to hear you, like, say, like, I'm going to go back to school. I want to get my bachelor's degree. And I just thought, like, that's so cool because that's just, like, another thing for you that's going to give you, like, more opportunities. It's going to give you this, like, and not just that, but I think also... And I don't know, maybe it's just my experience, but I feel like it helps you grow in different ways.
It does.
Because it challenges you in a different way. And then when you see that you're able to do that and you are capable and you put in that work, I think, like...
You want more out of it.
Yeah, and then I think it just also gives you that self, like... I don't know what the word is. I'm thinking the one that comes to mind is, like, that self-love and, like, respect for yourself, like... Yeah. Like,
that you achieved it.
Fuck, I did that. Like, I did that, you know?
That first semester, when I got an A, I was like, holy moly, I could actually get an A. If you were to ask my dad or anyone in my family, they'd be like, she never got higher than a D. You know what I mean? Well, D's and C's. Yeah. And then, But it was just hard for me in high school. But I think in college, because it's coming out of your pocket, you're doing it for yourself. I feel like there's some self-motivation that, like, you got to get through this. Like, this is just one assignment.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to do it. You just got to focus.
Yeah.
And put yourself in that mindset. And then, that first semester, and then the next semester.
So what do you think limited you? Like, because what changed you? Was it being in the job that you are that kind of helped you see that maybe, like, taking a chance and trying it? Like, what was it, like, because, you know, when, like, for me, I graduated high school, and to be honest, there wasn't this thing of, like, oh, I'm going to go to college, you know? But then I would think about, like, just getting out of college and getting a job, and again, not to put, like, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but, like, in a sense, like, to think of I'm going to get out of college and just work, like, just get a job.
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself doing that. So then it was, like, which option do I want, you know? So then it was, like, okay, I'm going to choose school. Like, I still worked, you know, but it was always, like, I need to get my degree, you know. So, like, I guess for you, I'm saying, what was it then that you were kind of, like, when you graduated high school and you were like, I'm not going to do college?
I wanted to have fun, honestly. I wanted to not worry. High school was horrible. The last 2 years were rough because I found out my junior year I wasn't going to graduate, right?
Oh,
and so I had to take extra credits on top of the 6 classes I already had. And so I was always doing assignments.
Yeah.
To get me ahead and to make sure I had extra credits to be able to graduate if I didn't pass my regular classes. So after senior year, when I found out I actually had more credits and I actually raised my GPA, I didn't want to even think about work. Yeah. I mean, about school. I wanted to my dad gave me 2 options, by the way. My dad either said, go to school and I pay your way, or you go to work. And so for the first year, because I was 19 when I went into cosmetology school, I think. I think it was 19 or 20. No, it was 20 to 21. Because I remember I had my first drink at age 20. No one believes me about that, but it's true. And so, yeah, for the first 3 years, I just decided to work because to me that was more fun to have money than to go back to school after having a horrible last 2 years of high school of just assignments back to back. And I don't know, my dad was very strict, and so I wanted to kind of like...
had freedom.
I had freedom, more freedom, yeah.
That's funny, because I kind of feel like I had the same experience, so like...
But it's opposite, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, in the sense, like, I feel like when I was in middle school, I feel like I always had bad grades. Like, I was always getting in trouble, because I always had bad grades. My GPA, I think my GPA one time was like 1.5. And that was probably in high school too. Yeah. But it's like, I think when I was in middle school, it was like, you needed to get this GPA. So I remember, like, I did graduate, I think, 8th grade with like a 3.0. But that was like the last report card. And then high school was the same thing. My grades always were like, I just never really, I think I was just more of a social butterfly, or maybe preoccupied with other things in my life than like doing homework. It just wasn't I wasn't like into school that way. Kind of like how, I see like my brother maybe was in high school. Like just, I don't know. So I think like I was the same way. But then it's still like when I graduated, it was still kind of like, I'm going to go to school. Yeah. And then, you said you went to cosmetology school. Yeah. I wanted to go to cosmetology school because at that time I was like, oh, I'm going to be a makeup artist. And I was really into makeup. And then, my mom was kind of like, no, you need to have like a degree to fall back on. So she was like, go to college. And then after you do that, if you still want to go to cosmetology school, then go to cosmetology school. And then obviously I started my process in college. I went to community college. And then it was like, I don't know, cosmetology school kind of
got left behind.
Yeah, got left behind because I think it was just probably a phase. I don't know if it was.
For me, it was a phase.
I don't think I would have stuck through it. It just would have been something. Not that I didn't. No, I should say I didn't love it. I probably just liked it and enjoyed doing my makeup, but I don't know if that was something I was gonna do like forever.
Well, I will say for me, that was it. I like love doing hair and my own makeup and stuff, but I figured out real quick after taking cosmetology school is that it wasn't for me. Yeah. It was more like, this is fun, but not for me. Yeah. But I still had to pay for the friggin' classes. So. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely a phase for me. And so then once I started cosmetology school, I also started retail right after, too, to help pay for, like, supplies. Because you also have to pay for, even though you get a student discount, you have to pay for supplies. And I just remember that I ended up, like, excelling in retail. Like I always say, hard work gets you far. And all of a sudden, I'm now a key holder. And then in the next year, I'm a coordinator for a department. The next year, I'm an assistant manager for the store. So it's like I excelled really fast. So I kind of like lost myself in the work field, and especially in retail, because I understood it. It was crazy how easily it came to me versus everything else.
Well, I think you're just naturally also, that's your personality. I think you're naturally a leader. I don't feel like you're a follower. I mean, that's not the vibe I get from you. Yeah. So I think, like, even now in the current role you have, like, at the college, I feel like it's probably hard, I'm sure. I mean, from the stories you tell us. But, I mean, you were obviously picked for a reason, and it's because you're good at that. Yeah. So the reason, too, like, how I had mentioned earlier was, so Addie's graduating.
I am.
in
So
May.
excited. May 16th.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so she'll be graduating with her associate's degree.
Yes.
And then she goes to a 4-year, basically, she's going to be...
A bachelor's degree.
And then 2 more years, and then she gets her degree.
And I get my degree.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited.
So I think that's awesome.
I know. I think it's really great that I'm at this point because if you asked me, I think it took me 4 years to get here, but 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, I would have been like, you're crazy.
Well, you did, I remember. You're like, no, that's not
yeah,
gonna
like,
do
you're
that.
crazy, I'm not going to do that. And, you know, it just became so intertwined with my life in regards to school, work, and make sure I do my assignments, you know?
And then I'm sure it probably helped, like, working in education, and then technically then you started going to school at the school that
I was working at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how have you, like, how has that function been that you've had a full-time job plus going to school? Like, how have you managed that?
Well, I mean, it took me a while to find my pace, I guess. But technically, like, I have to give myself time. And usually Saturdays are the ones that I do heavy work.
You're much better than me. I'm like a huge procrastinator.
Oh, God,
I
have too much anxiety to be that.
I was such a procrastinator in school. Like, I mean, I did my work, and, you know, because like you said, when you're paying for it, it's a very different mindset.
It is.
It's very much like, you know, I'm paying for it. So it's like, if I show up, the professor's not going to care if I show up or not.
They don't care.
They don't care. Like, you know, it's like, or you didn't do your homework, That's like on you, because you're not like a child. You're like an adult. Yeah. So, I was such a procrastinator. I remember sometimes I would be writing, like, I'd stay up till like 3, 4 in the morning and trying to write like a 10, 15 page paper.
I've done that once, and that was the worst time of my life. And I still got a good grade, but it was the worst time of my life because, 1, after I was done, I couldn't sleep. 2, my anxiety was so high that I was like, what is she going to give me? What are they going to give me? Like, am I going to fail? Did I plagiarize? Like, literally thinking of everything because it was so last minute that, you know, you're looking for shortcuts, unfortunately, to try to get your paper in.
I was the same way, trying to find ways. I just always was happy with just, like, give me a B+, give me a B-. Like, I'm good with that. I was never, like, because I never have considered myself an A student, so it's like, I'm like a B, C average student. I'm okay with being average. Like, I'm cool with that, but so it was just like, even if I wrote the paper, as stressed as I was, it was like, I just need to get it in and just give me a B, and then I'm okay. I just want a B.
And I'm the opposite. Like, for me, even a rough draft was never a rough draft for me. Like, I revised the crap out of it. Like, students would be like, I see nothing to edit because we would have to send our papers in a discussion board and have other people review our papers and give us ideas of what to fix. And not all of them, by the way, not all of them, but some of them, there were so not rough drafts that some of them, like, we don't know what to tell you, great paper, maybe expand a little bit more on this topic, but overall, great paper.
Oh my gosh.
And see, that's how anxiety works, though. Anxiety gets you like, okay, no, you need to get it done and get it perfect right now, and it just doesn't let you.
That's funny, because I think for me, like, I felt like I worked better when I was under the pressure of, like, it was just like,
even
like,
right
I'm
now,
just gonna get it out.
With these last 2 classes, like, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, homework. I give Monday and Tuesday off because based off the workload I have, I can do it by Wednesday and still be done by Saturday and still have Sunday because technically my assignments are due on Sunday. But, you know, anyways, I still have to have that pattern. Like, before I came here, I did a little bit of homework, and it was just a discussion board. So
You're such a schoolgirl.
I am now. I am now, which is crazy. But it's because, like, you know, I don't know. It's just.
And she doesn't budge. I'll text her, and she'll be like, no, I have to do homework. I'm like, bro, it's been like 5 hours. Like, give yourself a break. Just come. She's like, no, I have to finish it. And she literally will not do it. And I'm like the total opposite. I'd be like, okay, I can take like a little break.
No,
boy.
I know. I'm like, I can't. It's the anxiety, and I hate saying that because I'm trying to get control of my anxiety, but it's like, I feel like if I give myself a break, I take advantage of myself and be like, oh, and then 3-4 hours pass by, and you're like, you still didn't finish this.
Oh my, I think I can even say, even with, so obviously when I did my bachelor's, it was in person, right? Like, and I worked full time. Well, when I did my undergrad, so when I went to the community college, I worked full time. But then when I transferred to the upper division courses to the university, to UCSB, I had to cut my workload, and because it was just too much. Like, so what, like for me, it was just too much trying to obviously do work full time and school full time. It wasn't even part time, you know, I always did school full time. So like, for you, what has been your biggest challenge? Or has there not been any challenges?
So I don't want to say it's a challenge, but it's the getting home after work and then still having to do homework. After my job just requires me to be on a computer all day and stare at a screen, and then having to get off of work, just drive to my house is the only technically the break I get. And then have class. Exactly.
So do you enjoy doing school remotely?
I do. I love doing online remote because it gives me, one, the pace that I can set for myself. Just like I said, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are my homework days. I think when I did take that math class, because I had to take math in person, I had to adjust my entire life, including my work life, to get to that class on time. Because I knew online wasn't going to work for me with math because I was never good at math.
Yeah, I'm not good at math. Horrible.
Ask me how I passed that class. I don't even know how to tell you that.
Wait, which class was it?
Statistics.
That's so funny because it was the same thing for me. I had to take behavior. I had to take statistics in order to transfer from the community college to the university. So, and I remember, and I didn't take it over the semester, and I was like, oh, I need to take it before I transfer. So I was horrible in math, so the counselor literally had to sign a paper to basically authorize me to, like, skip, like, the prerequisite to get into that stat class, because I already had tried to take that math, like, multiple times, and I kept getting the same grade. Awful. And, yeah, I took statistics, but I took it, like, in a 6-week class. Like, it was just very, very quick. But if you were to ask me now, like, had I passed that class, I have no idea. But I passed it with a B.
I passed it with a B! Oh my god!
But I have no idea how.
It was just my final that got me to a B. The entire semester I was at a C. And I couldn't, no matter how many times I tried my hardest, it would not go higher than a C. And then the final exam got me up to a B. I was like, oh my god.
But yeah, I had to do that class. It was Monday through Thursday. We didn't have class, but it was from 6 to 10. And so I would go to work, like, all day, and then get off of work at 5, and then basically just go to class. And then I'd be there till 10. And then on Fridays, I would do study group with, like, people from that. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I survived it, but I think I actually enjoyed it better fast-paced, because I think if I would have taken it during the regular semester, I don't know if I would have done.
I took a regular semester.
So you're even, like, toot your horn because you did it during the regular semester.
Let me tell you, no. I took the prerequisite during summer, and I barely passed. And it was Nereida, because I had thought I failed, because I did not do good on my final. I did really bad. And I remember I go to my grades. I'm like, it's going to tell me I failed. I'm going to have to take this class again. So I'm like, I'm not taking it in summer, because I took it in summer. It's an 8-week course. And all of a sudden, it said I passed. And then I said, that's not adding up. And so Nereida was like, pull up your syllabus, Ariana. And I was like, okay. Like,
and your final exam was, like, more.
It was more.
Larger percentage.
Yeah, the percentage was more, and it was combined with my midterm.
Oh,
so
that's good.
I passed my midterm, but I didn't pass the final. And so those two combined passed me for the class. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. So I went from tears to, like, happiness.
But it's funny because I don't know if you'll ever use it, but I've never had to use it. Like, in regards to...
I don't think I have
in regards to, like, having to take that and then thinking about it.
Well,
but
no.
I don't know, maybe you might...
I actually kind of do, which kind of sucks is GPAs at my office. I kind of do. You have to calculate a little bit using.
Well, there you go.
So
I guess it makes sense. You might.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I was just gonna kind of go back to like when you said in regards to remote, like so I was in person for my bachelor's, and then when I did my master's degree, it was an online program, and obviously totally like fast forward, totally different experience. Like my bachelor's, I was like this young, free, like I didn't have a kid, I didn't have those responsibilities in regards to like having a home. Like obviously I had to pay my rent and my car payment and stuff, but it's like a very different dynamic, different mindset. And then fast forward doing my master's degree, it's like online, full-time worker, full-time like single parent, you know, doing all that. So it was very different. And but I think I'm glad that I got to experience both. And I think I also agree with you in the sense that like with the remote, I liked it because I did feel like I was able to kind of just go on my own pace and stuff. It was
you set your own schedule.
Yeah, kind of. It was just very different.
It's very different, and I like it when even students who come into school ask me, like, what do you think is better? I was like, well, what does your personal life look like? And they tell me they work full time, and I just give them my experience. I go, I also work full time. These are the amount of credits I can take, which is literally just 6 credits as a full time worker. But I also stare at the screen a lot. There's a difference. But I go, and I like online because I don't have to meet certain times. I can literally look at my due dates and set my schedule for those due dates. Yeah. And that's it. That's my acknowledgement. But some people also love the interaction. They love to be able to ask those questions. Yeah. I'd rather send an email.
Yeah. And how has it been going to school and like having, like, do you feel like you've had the support you needed?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I have the support from my mom. It's sad to say. My mom and me became closer as I got older, but definitely my mom supports me more because she does ask me about my schooling. My dad, we hardly talk, but family-wise, I would say my mom supports me, my little sister. I mean, friends, obviously. My friends support me. But, yeah, I think I have enough support that I need. Because, like, I don't want to expect too much of people, even though you kind of do. But, yeah, I think my mom really does support me. I mean, she's coming to my graduation. So. Yeah. And so is my dad, by the way. So is my dad. But I just feel like my mom asks me more about it.
Do you feel like that plays, like, a huge role in also keeping you to like
keep going?
Yeah.
I think it's more my sister, my little sister. So my little sister, I always say this, and I said this at her Sweet 16, is I want her to be better than me and my older sister, because me and my older sister are not the role models for her, but I'm trying to be a better role model. I'm not 100%, but I'm trying. And I think it's more my little sister that's pushing me, because this girl in high school was taking, I forgot what they're called. I think they're called AP classes or something like that. And then she was doing swim. Like, she was doing things that I in high school never did or even thought about doing.
They're like a different, but I feel like they're built different.
Totally different.
Even though I could say, like, in other situations, like, you flip it around, and there's other situations where maybe they'll say, like, we're built different. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah. Well, I will say that we, like, in our age group, or what do you call it, the era? Or the millennials?
Yeah. With us, I feel like, well, I don't know, I think all my sisters, but, like, with Sai, that was the same thing. Like, you know, she was, like, taking all these classes, doing her homework, doing dance. She's all involved in this. And just like, Howard, like, that's crazy.
I don't know how she did it. And it's good to know that she didn't get stuck with how my mindset was. Because I wasn't the best kid either. Yeah. But, yeah, I think it's my little sister that pushes me more. Because I do want to set that example, because we've already kind of tarnished that as we grew up, you know? But, yeah, it's my little sister more. And she's going to college right now.
So you guys are both in school.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we're both in school.
But she just started too.
Oh yeah, she just started. I think she's gonna hit her
So then
year
will
soon.
you guys technically probably graduate the same year?
Time? Probably, yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
that's
she'll
so
have her
cool.
bachelor's and I'll have my bachelor's.
That's so cool. It's funny. Another thing, if I can email or text, it's way better. I avoid having to talk on the phone.
Same. I'm the same way.
Like
my
me,
mom loves
send me
talking
email.
on the
Don't
phone.
call me.
Don't call me. Yes. I tell her mom, what's going on? And she's all like, why can't I see your face? She wants to FaceTime me. And it's like, Mom, I'm doing something. And she's like, I want to see your face.
Or are you gonna be like Nereida? So my sister I live with, she's literally like on FaceTime. And, like, her phone is, like, here in the living room, and she's, like, in the kitchen, and then, Sarai's, like, I can't hear you. And then I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, it's literally, like, those sister...
No, I just don't like being on the phone.
that you see where they're, like, she's doing stuff, and then it's, like, you're far away. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't like being on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
If I send my mom a text, she's going to call me.
Oh, that's so funny.
To answer what I asked her in the text.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes though, if it's like a long thing or I need to talk a lot, I will then call.
No, that's
then I'm like,
different.
then I get annoyed because then it's
but
like I'm not gonna send you. Oh, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I'm like I'm not gonna send you this long paragraph. Yeah. But then
no, I'm not typing all that.
But also, I annoy my sister Nereida with my texting because I'm like. She'll be like, why can't you just put all your texts together? Like, why do you, like, I'll send one text, like, blah, blah, blah. And then another one, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. And then it ends up being, like, 5 text messages instead of, like.
She deletes you.
Yeah, seriously, she blocks me. But, yeah, that's, another thing. So, I think that your journey has been really cool like, to be a part of, in the sense to see it from, like, my end, just because I feel like you've just kind of grown into yourself. I think it's also like, I feel, obviously this is my personal opinion, but like, I feel like it's giving you a lot of confidence. Yeah, I think like in a way where I feel like, because I think before, not saying that you were necessarily like, oh my God, I'm not good enough, but I think you kind of just
kept myself on a block.
Yeah. And I feel like now with this, it's like, I don't know, it's just so cool to see you like flourish and grow and see that side of you. So like, just the fact that you're graduating, I think is like, it's so cool. Also because I'm one for education. Mm-hmm. Not everyone is, but I am. Like, I hope and pray, Diosito, please, like, encourage and steer my son towards the path of like, going to school. And I think it's the same thing, like, even also just being the oldest of 6 kids, like, you know, very much my parents were like, you're the one that's setting the example, you're the one that's going to lead your sisters. And having younger sisters, it's like how you said, like, that was my motivation of like, I need to set that standard. I need to set the bar here, I need to set the expectation here. And so like, I don't know, it's just really cool. And I think to see that from you and to be a part of that journey with you, I think it's been awesome. And
well, I also think that, you know, now that I'm at the end of my associate's degree, I feel like when I look back, I take bits of every course I've taken and I have implemented it somehow in my work life and my personal life. Like the mindfulness class gave me different techniques, you know, and just last semester I took a stress management class because my stress was really high. I have celiac, so it's like really bad. And when I get stressed, it gets worse.
Like it flares up.
It flares up really bad. And so I took the class and like I was able to get deep breathing out of it. I was able to do art therapy out of it. And
That's
also
so cool.
overall therapy, right?
Yeah.
But as much as people see it as a course, you slowly alone, without even realizing, you implement what you learn into life.
Well, yeah, I think that's like the quality of education. I think it's not just, I think that is what education provides. That's why I just think like it's education, I think, is an awesome thing. You know, when you take advantage of it and you can do it, I think it's great. And it's, so yeah, I hear you on that. And it's, you know, it's like with my sisters, they've all had different paths too, you know, like my brother, he went to school, finished, then, then number three, Nereda, went to school, finished, and then she has 2 degrees now.
Yeah.
And then I know that then we have the younger ones, and it's like I've always been very, like, with my other sisters, they've all taken different courses in life, and, now Sarai's back in school, which is so cool, and I'm proud of her, and it's like, I think sometimes it's always been, maybe they might hear it differently, but in the sense that, like, their journey's their journey, and if it's going to take a couple years and they decide to go back, then they go back. Or if they take it slowly and do it part-time, they do it. I just think I've always tried to encourage them to just to do it. Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes, you just do it.
Just
but
take something.
That's just because I'm just, I don't know, I think education provides not just more opportunities, but I think it also helps you grow, like, as an individual.
Yeah, mindset and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I started at 29. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 28 technically. Mm-hmm. I started 28, so yeah, it took me a while to get back into school. So if I do agree that not everyone's going to be the person who's going to get out of high school, go to college, and get a degree. Some people do take longer for different reasons, and I think that's okay. That's the fun part about college. Mm-hmm. You can always go back. Mm-hmm.
And you can take a break.
And you can take a break, yeah.
And then go back.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, and another thing that I wanted to, like, chat with, so another cool thing, and I think it's kind of also, well, I think it's cool, but didn't really, Ariana is technically friends with all the sisters. So she's technically the best friend to, like, so it's me, Nereda, Naneli, and Sarai, right? Saida's in there. She's a little straggler, but she's in there. It's just because she's 19, so she's kind of like in her own world. You know how that generation is. They're just kind of like out there. Yeah. So it's interesting because I always, like, think about, like, how that works for you, being kind of like, she's like the secret gatekeeper. Like, she knows all the chismes. Like, she has all the chismes, like, everything. Mm-hmm. And so, how do you handle that? Because I know we can be...
A lot. Yeah. A lot, yeah. Especially Sarai. I want to pull my hair out. No, I'm just kidding.
And Sarai is technically also her goddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she's Sarai's Nina. Yeah. But yeah, so how is that? How do you navigate being the middle person for everyone? Especially, you know what's interesting? I think it's funny. She probably gets all the chismes, like, when we're mad at each other or something's going on. We're probably calling her, and then she gets like, oh, she got Jahaida's side. Oh, now she got Nereida's side. Oh, now she has Sarai's side. She has all the sides. How do you deal with that shit?
And I mean, maybe others think differently because, I don't know. I think I try to, like you're giving me your story, right? And I try to see it from your point of view. You got in a fight with Sarai, let's just say that. And Sarai is giving me...
I always fight with Sarai.
I think everyone fights with Sarai. I'm just kidding. And you get in a fight with Sarai, and Sarai is now talking to me about it. I try to see it from her point of view versus, like, just one-sided, right? And I try to stay neutral.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you do that? How do you... No, not even that, but how do you... Like, when they're talking, and say you already talked to me, and then Sarai's talking to you, how do you not, like, say, like, well, Jahaida told me this? Because, anyone that knows me, as hard as I try, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I don't know if I'd have the strength. You're much better than me.
I think for me is, I as much as, like, I feel loved in your guys' family, and I never, ever feel not loved by you guys, including your parents, I just try not to be the problem starter. I want to be the person.
You need to stir it. Stir the fucking pot. How do you stir it? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't stir it. Don't even put the spoon in. But no, yeah, I just try to. I really want to remain neutral, and because I love you guys all, and I think, like I've always said to you guys, is no matter how much you guys fight, you have this ability to, regardless of what you're mad at, you guys still stick together. And I never ever want to be the person who breaks that bond between you guys, because it's literally magnetic the way you and your family are together. I can say I've never experienced that. Yeah. And when I see it, you guys just, even if you guys get in a fight and you guys tell me, I'm like, they're gonna be fine. And I say that because you guys are going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are so magnetic and still very supportive of each other, regardless how mad you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could have done something. Or like when Sunny keeps stealing your nutty butters.
Oh my gosh. So that's one thing. So my sisters come to my house, and it's funny because we buy like the snacks. Like we'll have the snacks and the treats. So that's funny because I think like when they say it's probably from childhood, but it's like, you know, we didn't have all the, you know, my mom wasn't always buying all the chips or like all the stuff. It was
the
like
basics,
just the basics, you know, because it's like, oh, we're on a budget. Like, we can't. We don't have any money or something. And so, you know, now as an adult, it's like, oh, I love going to the grocery store because now it's like, well, if I want to buy nutty butters, like, or nutty bars, like, I'm going to buy them, you know? But the thing is that the food doesn't, like, those snacks, we won't, like, we can have ice cream and me, Nerida, and Yaciel won't, like, finish it right away, you know? But then the girls come over, like, Sarayi, and they steal all the snacks or they eat them all up. And I'm like, ay, estas niñas. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But
even when you get mad at her about that, I know that if Sarayi needs you, you're going to be there for her.
Oh, of course.
You know, without a doubt.
Yeah, of
course. Know? And so when you guys come to me and tell me your guys' stuff, I don't want to be the person to feed into your anger, but rather be the ear and just advice where I can if you're asking for it. Because feeding into it, that's me creating chaos, and I don't want to be chaos. As much as people say I am chaos, but
I don't know who says that. I don't.
No, like chaos as in like loud, obnoxious, you know, too blunt. Sometimes they say I'm too blunt, but
I think I don't know how you do it because I think that like I'm the oldest, and it's hard just dealing with my family in regards to just like I love my sisters and I love my family, but. Obviously, we're all different, even though sometimes people say, like, you guys are all the same. But in some ways, yes. But
not always. Yeah, you guys are all different.
We're all different.
Knowing all of you guys are all different.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll continue saying it. Nereda, I've known her since 2017. I didn't actually become friends with her until 2019.
That's because it's Nereda.
Nereda's very reserved.
Yeah.
Very reserved.
She's not even friends with me, and I live with her.
She tastes just a red.
She just talk to each other. No, I'm just kidding, sister. I love you. No, but it's just like, you know, it's hard for me, but like you, I will say like I feel very blessed that you're like a part of, you know, like to me, Addie's like one of my sisters. Like you're part of the sister team, like, and so I think we're very blessed to have you in the sense that. You for sure are someone that comes in and, like you said, listens, but is able to, like, mediate all of us. And I don't know how you do it because that's crazy. Like, I try to mediate and I always end up stirring shit more. And then they're all pissed at me. And then you're like, fuck. That's this. I'm done. Like, I'm just over here. Like, whatever. So.
I don't know. I just feel like I try my best. I'm not perfect, but I try my best.
I feel like you do a good job.
Well, I try, you know, because
I can't speak for all the other sisters, but
I know I would like to hear what they have to say.
Sarayi, Nereda,
Input. Yeah. No, I try to meet everyone where they're at because I can't talk the way I talk.
Yeah, Sarayi, say it. Tell her how you really feel.
Like I can't talk to Sarayi though. Oh my gosh, she's sneaking away with the Doritos.
She's like, I'm gonna eat the chips now. She'll go like, I'm gonna eat my feelings.
But I like the way I talk to you. I can be more honest, and you can be more receptive. With Sarayi.
Oh, did you guys hear that?
Yeah, she can.
I can be receptive.
At least from my point of view.
Thank you, Ariana.
I can be honest.
Thank you.
And she'll be receptive, but she'll also have her input, and it won't change her idea. But she can listen to my idea. While Sarayi, I can't be super. I can ask her, like, do you want me to be really honest, or do you want me to, like, you know,
sugarcoat it?
I hate using that word, but kinda, you know, like
lay it
on softer than harder.
Be softer, not so hard. Well, yeah, because she's a softie.
She is, but it's because she still has a lot of growth in her, and she needs to grow and understand herself. Yeah. And when people try to analyze her, that doesn't sit well, you know? So that's why with her, I have to talk differently. With Nane, my best friend, I can talk to her about anything. Like, literally, we could be in the same room and be laughing about nothing. But at the same time, she's also a softie.
Oh, Nane, totally.
Yes, I love
you,
her.
Sister, but yeah, she's a total softie.
Sometimes I'm like, cut it off because we're done, you know? Like, I don't know, she's also softie. Nereida, I think I can speak very logically with her. I mean, at least she speaks really logically, so when I'm, like, having conversations...
she gets mad.
Oh, yeah. She gets mad. She want nothing to do with you.
I'm just kidding.
She's done with you. She kicks you out, okay? She's, like, pretending like she's sleeping, but she's really telling you, you need to go home. I'm just kidding. But, no, yeah, with Nereida, it's more... She likes logical conversations, you know? She likes to be fun.
Yeah.
But she's very logical. Yeah. And so I try to meet everyone where they're at.
Yeah. And then how do you do it when you keep everyone's secrets?
I don't know. Do I keep everyone's secrets? I feel like I don't.
Really? Oh, I don't know. Then I guess
feel like sometimes
I guess that she's only telling my secrets because I feel
no, I don't know. Like
I feel like
because I feel like you guys don't keep secrets from each other. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, yeah, you're telling me in that moment, but then later on down the week or the road, someone's bringing it up, and I'm like, oh shit, you know about that? You know what I mean?
I think eventually some things come out. I'm not gonna lie, and I think some of you can probably understand that. Like, it's like those memes you see. Like, as much as it's like, don't tell mom, and it's like,
mom already knows.
Guess what? Or like, don't tell this person, and then it's like you call the sister. It's like, ooh, I gotta tell, and eventually, like the whole family knows someone. Yeah,
that's why I don't think I keep secrets.
But I was gonna say, I think there's sometimes some things that I feel like, even just as like the oldest sister, there's probably things I know, as much as maybe my sisters don't think that I know, but I don't know, maybe that's just me also saying that. I'm sure there's things that they don't talk to me about and they don't tell me that they probably like tell you and talk to you about. Like, I'm sure there's stuff that Nereida talks to you about that she doesn't tell me, that she doesn't tell Sarai or even tell Nane, but she tells you, and vice versa. There's probably things that like Nane tells you and Nane doesn't tell me, and she don't tell Nereida, but maybe Sarai and Ari know. You know what I mean? It's like, so how do you, like...
I don't know.
That's crazy.
It goes back to, I want to be neutral. You know, regardless of what the situation is. I try to be neutral. I try not to, I guess, feed into whatever they told me. Even though sometimes it's like, ooh, this is juicy, you know? But, like, I don't know. I just try to be neutral.
So that's why we say, like, you're the one friend that if we don't want to be on her shit list because
don't be on my shit
she's
list.
Gonna let it all out. She's gonna be like,
I'm already writing a book, okay? I'm writing a book.
She has all the information.
And everyone started on different timelines, okay?
Ari's like that friend that like she'll be at my parents' house with all of us, and then we start fighting and we get into a fight, and then she's like sitting at the table and she's like, what the fuck is happening? And it's like you're awkward, huh? Because you're like, do I get up and leave?
Do I stay? And Johnny's like, stay. I'm like,
and that's how in she is. Like and then later it's like, we're like, so how was that, Ari? And she's like, fucking awkward. I don't know what to do. But it's like, we're already just she's just in. Like, she's just part of the family. So it's like, it's happening.
Yeah.
She's around. She's seeing it. So she literally sees basically everything.
Yeah, I think your parents got used to me being there because they'll have not super intense either, right?
But my parents are always intense, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
But like, I think they just have more serious conversations and they don't really care that I'm there now. Before, you could see the difference before, like, from to now.
Yeah. Well, I think also it's probably just that fact that, like, at least, like, from my mom's perspective, I think, is that she's probably like, well, Ariana's gonna find out. Like, we're gonna fucking call you and tell you, or we're gonna be like, guess what happened at my mom and dad's, and they were saying this, and this was happening, you know? So.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes she also probably, in some ways, she probably also gets my parents' perspective. Like, she's the one that's also probably listening to, like, what my mom is saying when she's probably all, like, encabronada with us.
Yeah.
And then you're talking to Patty and getting all the, like, chismes from Pat.
Just a little bit.
And then you're over there telling Pat this, and then we're over here thinking, like, Patty has our back, and then she's over there probably not rubbing shoulders with Pat.
She makes the best salsa, okay?
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
kidding.
Yeah, she probably does. She tells on us all the time.
And I want my salsa. Homemade salsa. The best salsa is Patty Rodriguez salsa. Okay.
That's funny.
I always tell Sadie, you guys take advantage of your mom's salsa.
My mom's salsa is good.
It's real good. It has a lot
Love
of
my
flavor.
mom's cooking. Can't complain.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting. So yeah, I just think that's kind of. I don't know if I want to use the word fun, but I feel like it's probably fun, maybe in the sense that
It's a little fun for me
because you're kind of in this position where, like I said, you're like and even now, like even with my sister-in-law.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
she gets that perspective too. Like
yeah.
she goes over there, we didn't even know. It's like, oh, where's Adi? Oh, she went to Bea's house today, and it's like, oh. You get fucking invited. Like, why is Ariana over there?
Why is she over there?
Yeah, and then, or it'll be like, oh, or Bea's with us, and then Bea's like, oh yeah, I invited Adi. Not that, like, Ariana is not invited, because it's like, Adi's in that position where, like, she don't need no invite. Like, she's just part of the family. Yeah. But then it's just funny, because then it's like, we didn't even know, like, Bea would be like, oh, I invited Ariana, or talking to Ariana. So, like, now you get that perspective, too. So that's kind of like,
it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I will say that it's great to have these relationships because if you really think about it, the only people I really know here are going to be my uncle and his wife. And then the boys. And that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the only people I really know here. Other than that, if I didn't have your guys' relationships the way I do, I would be literally alone. Literally alone, and it's sad to think about, but
you'll never be alone.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love the fact that I do have the relationships that I do with all of you, because you guys are like a home from home. Because everyone I know is in California.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
It's a little happy moment for me to reflect on the fact that I have you guys.
Yeah. Well, we love you.
Yeah.
So now just coming to kind of like, let's wrap things up. Got a couple questions for you. So, rando questions, but I just want to ask, because I asked my other peeps. First question, when is the last time you had like a cry? Like a good cry? And again, it doesn't mean like it has to be like you cried because it was like bad.
Yeah.
Or you cried because it was good. Just like, you know, when you just have like that moment when like, you just fucking like, you just fucking cried.
I have to say it was a couple months ago. And it actually has to do with work.
Oh, those are probably the worst, I think.
They are the worst, but I cried out of like
frustration
and wanting, this just sounds so unrealistic, just things to go perfect. But yeah, I was at work when I cried, and I hate crying.
Yeah.
It's like the one thing I hate
I was going to say, I feel like, I don't know if I think I've only ever seen you cry once.
Yeah.
Now that I think about that. So yeah, you're probably not, I feel, and you've always seen me cry like, a freaking Chio, and I'm a crier. I cry all the time.
Yeah, you do. But it's cute though, because you are able to let your emotions out, and I'm not. And so when I do let my emotions out, I finally hit that freaking peak. And it's just, now it's anger, then it's sadness, then it's
like everything.
Everything.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like those cries, like when you just freaking cry. Because there's different cries. You have the cries where you're kind of like, you're able to do stuff, and you're just like, kind of like, there's tears and you're crying. But I'm talking about the cry when you're just like, you're crying.
Aww. Yeah, no, and it sucked because I was at work, and thank God for work I don't wear makeup, and so I was able to like clean up. But like once I did, I have to say it felt good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you feel after?
It felt good to let it out, and then in a way I composed myself in my tears, and like I hate to say it, but I got my shit together, and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
To move forward.
Yeah,
you know?
I was gonna say, I feel like when you have those moments like that, it's like, fuck yeah. Like, I can do this shit.
I can do it, okay?
Like, it gives you that, like,
that push that you need. Because,
see?
you know, crying isn't bad, even though, like, again, I hate crying. I don't like crying, and I should cry more, but just, I haven't gotten to that level where I just let it out yet.
Yeah.
I write a lot, but I don't let it out. And so, yeah, that day I cried, and I got my shit together, and I said, this is what we're gonna do.
And you just did.
And it kind of felt good afterwards.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes it's good to let out those emotions.
Yeah. No,
For
it
sure.
is. It is because it builds up inside of
Mhm.
you. So, yeah. Definitely is.
Another question. So, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I think I know the answer to this. Would you fucking die, Abby? Would you
No.
live?
I would fucking live, but I'd also be like, everyone stay the fuck away from me. I'm pretty sure, knowing how I am,
Yeah.
I'd be fucking out there trying to like,
with those guns or what?
just these ones right here, poke you right in the eye, okay?
with your freaking nails.
My fucking nails, okay?
So that's funny that Adi brings that up because when I met Adi, I feel like your nails were probably longer then, huh?
They were longer before.
Oh my gosh, she's a baddie though because I remember her nails. So like I'd always joke because her nails would be long, and then I remember she would talk and she'd do little
like,
but they would clap all out, and then I'd always be like, how does this bitch work? Because that not even why that worked because at work you'd have to do the
boxes.
Like in all this, especially in retail. I remember when she'd be like on the like this, tapping the little screen, and she was so quick. I'm like, oh, I have nubs, and I don't know how you did it.
Same thing right now with typing. Everyone's like, "How do you type so fast?"
Yeah, and she doesn't just you don't struggle.
No, I don't.
So yeah, I believe that you'd probably be killing zombies.
I would. I think I would. And if you can't keep up, I'm sorry, but I'm still going forward.
And so the third question is, with that zombie apocalypse, what would you do? So I know you're saying you would live because you'd be killing zombies with those nails, but what would you do?
Meaning, like, how would I survive?
Yeah, like, what would you do?
That's hard because I've seen a lot of zombie movies, and let me tell you,
I'm taking notes.
I'm like taking notes, but like The Walking Dead, I love the whole like prison thing because it's like actual cement. But then, how do I get everyone out, right? Because they're gonna be zombies. So I definitely would think of something more cement-like home, you know, and then something where I can grow stuff. Yeah. But even though I probably kidnapped Nereida because I don't know how to grow shit.
You probably figure it out though.
I'll be like, you're working for me now.
Not with guns, but with your nails.
Like, okay. I'll make your tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I think I would try to find sanctuary, like somewhere like that you can still see everything, right? Because you don't want no one sneaking up on you.
Yeah, but then you don't want them to see you.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now you thinking, yeah. So yeah, I think I would find.
So you're shady.
I'm shady as hell, girl. If we die, I'm gonna count on me.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah.
Well, those are good answers. I love them. So yeah, just to wrap things up, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Thank you for just like taking the time out of your life.
Absolutely, anything.
So don't forget to subscribe, listen, give me comments, give me your feedback, ask questions. But yeah, until next time, bye guys.
Bye.